Hello everybody, this is John Haverlack with the College of Fisheries and Ocean Sciences and RV Sikuliak at the University of Alaska Fairbanks. And today I want to do a short video to introduce you to multi-factor authentication, or MFA, which is happening at the University of Alaska during the fall semester 2021. And so this is just an orientation video, and so we're going to answer the question, what is multi-factor authentication, why it's needed, what's the time frame, when is this happening, and what does the MFA login process look like, so what you can expect once you've enrolled, and then how do I enroll. And so we're not going to go through the entire how you enroll part during this video. We'll do that in a separate video. Today's date is September 17th, 2021, and this is targeted mainly for CFOS faculty and staff, but it is in general appropriate for all University of Alaska employees, and it also will target, this series of videos will target specifically nuances of multi-factor auth for Sikuliak crew. So we won't go into all those details here, but the process is slightly different for crew. Okay, so that said, what is multi-factor authentication? So in short, multi-factor authentication is adding a second challenge to your login, or sometimes referred to as two-factor authentication. You can have more than two, but in our case we're just going to be doing two. The first factor is something that you know, and that would be your username and password for your University of Alaska account. That's the factor one. And so the normal login you see where you're asked for your username and password, that is factor one. Then after you log in, you're going to now get prompted for a second factor, which is a device. So the second factor is something you have. So we combine something you know with something you have, and this is the second factor. So that second factor can be a number of different things. We'll get into that. The question is, when will MFA be required? So for banner users at University of Alaska, they've already been onboarded. That happened back in August. The remaining of UAF employees, this will go into effect on October 6th. So that's why we're rushing to try to get this training out to CFOS staff and faculty. There's facility services folks at UAF that doesn't impact us. They have a deadline by the end of the year. We have an exception for Sikuliak crew to have their multi-factor auth deadline delayed till November 20th. We want to have that overlap with a long import period so we can help them and assist in getting onboarded if needed. We don't want to do this to them while they're at sea. How will multi-factor impact me? So when you go to log into UAF websites with your @alaska.edu account, those website logins that you currently just use your username and password for, you're going to get prompted for that second factor. And so you have to have this set up with the specific device you're going to use, or devices, for this to work. Okay, so what would this enrollment process look like? Okay, so we're going to take a look at that. Before we do, I'm going to go to getting started on this website. By the way, this website, you can get to it by going to www.sikuliak.alaska.edu/MFA/. The / at the beginning is important. If you don't put that, it's going to give you an error. So MFA/ will get you to this website if you want to take a look at it yourself. So getting started, there's two different paths. If you're CFOS faculty or staff, you click here. If you're Sikuliak crew or a UAF researcher who sails with Sikuliak, the process is slightly different, and you would click here. We're going to do this one first, and I'll just mention that I mentioned that there's different devices you can use. You're going to need to set up a primary and secondary device, and in most cases, OIT recommends people use a smartphone tablet with the Duo app. That works with Android or iOS. And the landline, such as your office phone, a different phone than your smartphone. It can't be the same phone. that would defeat the purpose as a backup option. So if you lose your phone, you can still log in using a backup option, and then use that backup option to set up another device to recover. There are also physical key fobs. OAT provides a security token device, which is this FEDIAN model I-34, that provides a one-time use password, or OTP. One-time password is what that stands for. It gives you a PIN, and then you enter the PIN and you log in, and it proves that you have that device. And then there's also these security key fobs. I have a couple here. They look something like this. If I can see, it's a USB key device, and so I plug it in and tap it, and we'll see how that works. Okay. That said, what I want to do is shift gears, and I want to, before we talk about enrolling, which I won't fully cover in this video, I just want to really introduce folks to what's happening here. Let me go do a login, and we'll see how that works. Over to the right, you're going to see I've got the Duo app installed on my phone. I'm going to demonstrate what it looks like to do a push with the Duo app on my phone. Okay, so I'm going to first log in to UA Online. UA Online is a good example to test with, although this would work for Google Mail or other applications that you have to log into with your alaska.edu account. Okay, so I've logged in with my username and password, and we can see I'm getting prompted to log in. Now, I've set up multiple devices. I've got this hardware key called a YubiKey that I'm using, but I'm not going to use that device to log in. I'm going to choose to use the Android mobile app. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this method. I'm going to say send me a push. And what we'll see is when I send that push, I'll get a little pop-up here, and I can quickly edit that, press the button. It shows up for a few seconds, and then it'll go away so if you don't catch it. So this is going to be quick, but I'm going to say send me a push, and I'll wait for it to show up. And here it goes. So I'm going to tap to view actions, and I'm going to click approve, and it sends me in. So I knew it was coming. So that proves that I have a physical device. It's better than a SMS text message. Phones with SMS first have to be on a cellular network. The push method does require your device to be on the internet. In this case, this is a Wi-Fi phone. It doesn't have a cellular phone. At any rate, we're going to look at other methods for logging in that don't require internet access by your device. So we'll take a look at those methods too. So this was the push method. Proved I have the second factor, and I'm logged in. So we're going to go do this a couple more times. I'm going to sign out locally. Another option, I had to sign out to prove it, and I'm going to go UA Online, sign back in again. We're going to do the PIN option. So if you need to log in and your phone does not have internet access, we can use the PIN method. So I'm going to show how that works. All right, so getting prompted again. And by the way, you can set your default device. You don't have to pick this. My default is the YubiKey. Android Auto. So in this case, I'm going to say enter a passcode. And to enter that passcode, I will go to my Duo app, click on Duo, and bring it up. Now, the Duo app does not share its screen because that would be insecure. So you can't see my Duo app screen share. But it's going to look something like this, and it's going to give me a PIN code. However, the PIN code is different each time, so it's okay that I share this old one with you because it's no longer any good. But the new one is 737, and I see that on my phone right now. And I click login, and it works. And that was a one-time password, OTP, from my Duo push method that let me log in. So that also worked. And that did not require my device to have internet access. So I can always pull that up on my Duo app on the phone and get access there. So I just want to take a brief moment. I'll show this on Android. I don't have access to an iOS device, but I think the process is similar. You go to install Duo on your mobile device, you go to the Play Store on Android, do a search for Duo, D-U-O, and you'll notice there's two here. There's this Google Duo, which is blue, and then there's this green Duo Mobile at the bottom. It's the green Duo Mobile that you want to install. I've already got it installed, but you would see the option to install there if you needed to. So that's just the important thing, not to get Google Duo confused with the Duo authentication app. Okay. All right. I'm going to show you the other method that I have. I did mention that there are keys that you can get, devices, security key devices. The security tokens are provided by OIT. They have a limited supply of those, so there's a business justification that might be needed to merit that. Certain people do have them. So if you feel like you would need a security token device from OIT, we can talk about that. The security keys do cost money. They're more expensive. They're $45 to $80. They're also easy to use, and it actually might be possible for you to purchase your own if you want to use that for personal things, and then use the personal device with your UAF account. So we can talk. We'll send questions to support at cfos.uaf.edu. We will have to manage those internally. We're still working these details out, so bear in mind. But I'm going to show you what that process looks like. So if I were to go log in with my security key, and why I really like this option, although it does cost money, so that might be, I don't know if everybody will have this option. UA Online. Okay, let's log in. We got one more time. Okay, and this time I'm going to use the default YubiKey NFC. NFC stands for Near Field Communication, by the way. It's not really relevant here, but if you have a smartphone that supports wireless near field communication, you can just tap this device to your phone, and it'll pick up that key. So it's really for use with mobile phones that support NFC. We're not going to focus on that, but this particular device supports that, so that's the model number. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to plug it in to my USB port, and then I've got this shiny, blinking metal thing here that I need to touch. All I need to do is touch it, and I'm logged in. It's like magic. So I really like that method because I don't have to type anything extra. I could just have my YubiKey there, and I just touch it when I'm ready and I'm in. So it kind of streamlines the process. If you do a lot of logging in, it might be easy to have a device like this. The downside is you can't leave it plugged in your computer, and you need to take it and keep it on your person at all times, just like any other key you would have at the university. So it is an important thing not to lose and hang on to. The reason why you need more than one method to log in with multi-factor auth, more than one device, is that if you lose your primary method or forget it, you need a backup or an alternative. The landline option, I haven't done this in a while, but we can try that option too. Let's go back and log in and use my landline while we're at it, and we'll see what that looks like. It should call me and give me a PIN to type in, but let's see what happens. So if I lost all my devices, I don't have my phone, I lost my YubiKey, this is another backup method for me. This is my desktop landline here at the university. Call me. I'm getting a phone call.
This is University of Alaska requesting verification of login. If you were not expecting this call, please press 5 to report fraud. Otherwise, press pound on your phone to log in. Thank you.
All right.
Goodbye.
There we go. I got logged in from my landline phone. So that is another option for logging in. Again, you don't want to use the cell phone number for logging in that you're using if you're using the smartphone app, because if you lose that phone, it's the same phone number, so it's not going to work. You need a different phone, like a landline. Okay, that pretty much covers the the process here, if the enrollment process involves logging into Elmo and enabling it, but you want to get your devices, at least two, smartphone app and landline, squared away before you enroll so that you've got your devices ready, and or if you're going to use a security key, get one. Not all security keys will work, so this is why you need to contact CFOS IT support to make sure that you have a compatible device. There are a number of different ones that will work, but we need to make sure it's going to work. And of course, then we've got to have money to pay for them and such too. Okay, one last thing I'm going to mention in case people have concerns. It's this little red box down at the bottom. The University of Alaska Board of Regents has a policy, and basically what it says is if you use personal devices, laptops or computers or cell phones or mobile devices for university business, that would be email access or access to files, mapping drives, anything that you would do university work on, that device is subject to university inspection in the event of a cybersecurity breach. So if you feel that device has been compromised, the university has the right to commandeer it, basically. And you probably don't want that to happen to your phone that your entire life is on. So use a separate device. That's what I do. I have a separate university Android device. It's just a Wi-Fi device. It's not a cell phone. It is technically a cell phone. It just doesn't have a SIM card in it. I just use it on Wi-Fi, and that's what I do all my university business on. And I keep my personal phone separate. At any rate, that you're subject to that. But I have been advised by OIT specifically that if you only use your Android device for multi-factor authentication with the Duo app, that your device that this provision does not apply, and your device will not be subject to mandatory sequestration if that's the only thing you use it for. So if you have questions about that, let us know. But we want to kind of put people's minds at ease that the university is not going to take over your phones if you decide to use your phone device for this. But it is your personal device, so you do have a choice as to whether or not you want to use Duo with it. It's probably the most convenient, easy way to do it. And again, it's kind of as simple as do a push and you do a touch and you're in, and that's quick and dirty. It's good to have options. Okay. If you're ready for all that, then you can move on to the enrollment part. You can follow the directions at the OIT website here, alaska.edu/OIT/services/MFA. And go to the Elmo site and register and follow through. And we'll be doing more tutorials on how that works and how to set up devices and get them enrolled. In the meantime, if you have any questions, please contact support at cfos.uaf.edu. All right, that's all for now.